Hey everyone, just wanted to show you a little bit about our method of keeping records. And I tell you this because this is our record method. It is not the records method. Just like everything else we talk about on a farm, every farm runs differently. If it was as simple as a cookie cutter method, every farm would be successful and it would be super easy for every farm to be successful. Thing is that different terrains, different regions, all this different stuff plays into the how effective or how efficient a farm is. For us, it was very easy to create an Excel spreadsheet. And the Excel spreadsheet you're looking at right now is actually the one that we use. It's an older one. It's not updated with this year's stuff completely, but you'll get the hint. So the bottom left here, you're going to see all these different tabs. And flock is the main tab. This tab means that we, if the animal's in this tab, they are staying here permanently. So they're a breeding stock or they're a ram that is used to breed the ewes. And of course we have all this different information. So column alpha, this is their scabies tag number. Column Bravo, either their purchase date or their date of birth. This gives us an idea of how old they are. If it's a purchase date, then we put the date that you see next to it is actually the date that they are or were born, according to the owner or according to the previous owners. Line Charlie or column Charlie is actually going to show who the mother is. So that's more along the lines of for ones that were born here. So like for instance, lamb 122, or sorry, ewe 122 was born here on March 2019. Her mom was number 43, and obviously this is female. She had her CD&T on May 13th, 2019, and then she gives or would have gotten a booster on well, she would have got her booster June 13th, 2019. Like I said, this one's not completely filled out. This is an old one. I just put some information in here to kind of give you guys something to see of how it works, because the other one, the one that we actually use, is it's not exactly accurate right now either, because we have lambs being born by the minute, it seems. So you'll see all that. So you got column F or Foxtrot was their CD&T date. Column G is when they were dewormed last. So we update this every time they're dewormed. So for instance, you can see that all of our flock, or most of our flock, hasn't been dewormed since May of 2019, and that's because we implemented rotational grazing. Rotational grazing is a good practice. If you're interested in learning more about that, check out the videos on our channel. There's a few of them that show us setting up the fencing for it, and then there's one that we talk about the process of how we use rotational grazing. But anyways, the purpose of it, the deworming, is to show, let's say that, so I used 211, I made an example out of her. So let's say that we dewormed her in December of 2020, right? But then she has another parasite issue in February of 2021, and then we'll say again in April of 2021. That tells me that she's not very parasite resistant and that she should probably be culled and not kept at our farm. She just doesn't have the genetics that we want to keep and breed into the remainder of our flock or to the future of our flock. But the other thing I inputted over here was twins, right? So you can see for birth 1, I went ahead and said that she, on January of 2021, she gave birth to twins. And then I forecasted, again, I'm giving, these are examples because this isn't accurate for this lamb. But then she gave birth in January of 2022, but she only gave birth to a single. This shows us basically this is showing a birth history. So let's say that, she gave birth to singles this time, right? Well, we're going to give her another chance because that birth could be from us. It could be something that we've changed. We changed nutrition, or we changed the rams, because our rams change every year. So if she's the only one that singles that went from, or the only one that went from a twin to a single, then we'll know that it's something with her. But if let's say majority of our flock went from giving twins to giving singles, then we'll know it's something that is common to the whole flock. So either the rams or the nutrition, something was changed for everybody and it affected everybody. So again, this helps us to understand the decisions that we make, if they're healthy for the flock or if they're bad for the flock. It helps us learn from them. And it also helps us to see the records. So is it her? Maybe, because if we didn't have these records, we might be like, oh yeah, I think she gave a single last year too. So again, this is important to us to keep track of. The next column over is remarks. So for instance, she doesn't have anything in remarks. She doesn't have, so like this one right here has a name, Legs. Legs was a massive baby born last year. He was a huge ram, and we actually kept him and used him for breeding. We got rid of his mom. But if they're over here and they have nothing in that remarks column, that means there's nothing unusual going on with them, and there's nothing outstanding that draws attention to them. So, and they don't have a name. The names just help us to reference, because otherwise if we're like, hey, Legs, okay, I know who Legs is. But if we're like number 213, pretty sure that's what Legs' number is. Yeah, so number 213. If you told me 213, I might know or might remember that's Legs, but I may not also. So that's the gist of the main flock one. So then we move on to the lambing seasons, right? So 2019 lambing season, which would be the December, so November, December of 2018 into the new year of 2019. 2020, same thing, the November and December of 2019 into 2020. And then the November and December of 2020 into the year of 2021 is the 2021 lambing season. That's how we keep record of it, but you can make it whatever works for you. If you want to cut it off at the end of the year and say, nope, that's part of next year's lambing crop, that's all up to you. So if you look at the lambing roster here, it essentially is the exact same as the main flock. The only difference is we don't have all the births, right? So we don't have birth 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have birth notes. So that's important because right here, right? So number 30 gave birth to 274 and 275. All right. It's important to me because number 30 had an issue with her babies. They became bottle babies because she did not produce enough milk. Her bag was a big bag and everything, but she did not produce any milk hardly. We could barely get anything out of her. The wax plugs were out. It wasn't anything with that. It's just something to do with her. So at this point, I think like, hey, did I have an issue with her last year? So I go to down here and I go to the 2020 lambing season. And I'll look and I'll say, I had an issue with her last year. What was my issue last year? Well, she gave birth in December of 2019. She gave birth again in December of 2020. Very consistent about that. She gave birth to twins in 2019 and 2020. Good. Last time, so 2020's lambing season, they were both males. 2021's lambing season, they were a male and a female. But I go over here to remarks, and I can see that in 2020's lambing season, she gave birth to stillborns, and they were deformed. They looked like they had some sort of scoliosis. Their spine was twisted. Very weird. And we had to assist with the birth, and I actually had to pull them because they were stillborns. Anyways, again, that record keeping comes in handy because now I can be like, so something's going on with her. But the other thing is that if it was another set of stillborns, she would probably still get cold. But in this case, since she's not going to produce milk anymore, or she didn't produce milk this year, I'm not going to take the chance of next year because this is 2 years in a row that I've had issues with her. And being that she's not producing milk this year, I don't think she's going to overcome it next year. So I don't want to guarantee having bottle babies. So now what I'll do is I'll go to flock, and I'll go up to, let me scroll over here so you can see the tag numbers, the scabby tag numbers. Alright, number 30. Right? I already marked her on this because I was showing an example. But so I'd highlight the whole thing just like I did, and I would change the color to yellow. Right? And then I highlighted the whole thing yellow, and I'd also put in remarks, I would write coal. That tells me that whenever I have to make a run to the sale barn this year with lambs that don't sell directly from our farm, I'm also going to take that mom. She's not going to stay with our farm. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have questions about it, please let me know. You write them down in the comments below. I'll answer any questions you have. Again, we will give this Excel spreadsheet to anybody that emails us, or sorry, not email, but message us on our Facebook Messenger for our Freedom Farms Facebook page. The link is down in the description to our farm Facebook page. Go on there, message us, and we will send you this Excel spreadsheet on there. It's free. We're not charging anything. We just want to help others that are starting out and try to get their farm off to a good start too. We had some good advice given to us from the people that we purchased our original, the first batch of lamb, or first batch of ewes that we bought, and they were very helpful with it, and we really appreciate it. And we just want to do the same thing and pass it on. That's what our whole YouTube channel is about, is just helping others that want to start their farm and hopefully help them prevent making the same mistakes that we have. Other than that though, I really do hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested in it. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, check out the previous videos that we have. Like I said, we show everything that we do, even the mistakes that we make, to help prevent others from making the same mistakes. Just some topics that we've done. We built a barn. We built our own livestock barn, my wife and I, and a neighbor helped us rebuild it after a storm had destroyed it. We put up rotational grazing. We show a little bit of how we do that, and we're also going to start doing an experiment with the hayfield in here this coming year about fertilizers and how we're going to use them. So again, I want you to learn. I want to be helpful. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll do everything I can to help you out. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really helps us. Other than that, have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.